Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I reversed that, but it is what it is. Episode 167. This is RoyalTea, Alex B. the Unproblematic King, and we got Denny the God on the pod. How you doing, my G?
Oh, man, I'm just here supporting you and your in these difficult times you're facing. You know,
Mm,
I've been seeing Alex's messages on WhatsApp. It's
Nothing
so
but red.
sad. Yeah, nothing but red. And if nobody knows what we're talking about bets. Alex submits some bets. He replies to those bets whether he cashes it or he gets a big ol' X. I've been seeing big ol' X almost every single time, except for once, I think.
It looks like, I'm letting you know that XXX Tentacion is featured on the track or something with how many fucking X's I put in there.
Yeah, talking about some porno or something. I said, damn, bro. This is what we're doing. This is how we're thriving for money now. Struggle's real.
OnlyFans.
There
Oh,
you go.
man.
Only feet, bro.
That's your thing.
Oh, bro.
Shout out to our first time listeners, last time listeners, those listening to show love, those listening to show hate. We appreciate every single one of y'all.
All y'all.
Oh
Every single one
man,
of y'all.
dude.
Man, there's a lot to
Uh,
talk about, bro. It's been a crazy, crazy week.
yeah, no. Clearly, I know a lot of people have been telling me they're excited to hear the lyric breakdown. I don't think we have the time to do it with what we have on the podcast being how it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, what we got to do here is we have to kind of condense it because if we're trying to hit every talking point. So what I'm gonna do is just kind of go by track review timeline and kind of go over it, right? So just so we can go over the
Yeah.
entire thing, we can rate who we think won it, what the internet's saying. Twitter's been a fucking godsend of jokes for the last like week, so let's dig into it and we can kind of hit all the conspiracy theories on the way. All right,
That's right.
so obviously March 22nd, like that dropped, and obviously that was Kendrick's like announcement of like, all right, we're fighting, right?
But yeah. Yeah.
Then 2 weeks later, fucking Drake fucking leaks push-ups, and basically he was kind of addressing multiple people, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Didn't want to address Kendrick first. Well, he did a little bit, a little bit. But then, yeah, he wanted to fight everybody thinking he's Captain America.
Yeah, so he said lyrics that said, "You ain't in no big three. SZA got you wiped down. Travis got you wiped down. Savage got you wiped down. Like your label boy, you in a scope right now, and you gonna feel the aftermath of what I write down. Whatever. You know the song. Drake also went after Lamar's work on pop songs with the likes of Maroon 5 and Taylor Swift. And obviously Ross dropped his own diss track, but we don't care about that because they didn't really do anything. And we're focused on the two
Yeah.
main antagonists in this thing. Um, Drake
Yeah.
then dropped Taylor Made Freestyle on April 19th when he used the AI stuff with Tupac and Snoop Dogg. And that's when he kind of like really embraced the pedophile thing, which was kind of crazy
Yeah, he
because
did. Wore the crown.
like why are you
Pushing
doing
his own
that?
items.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you know what,
Uh,
man? It's um,
right.
I don't even know how to even go about that, to be honest.
Now that was a fail. I think that did just make it worse for him.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah. I think,
the bad look.
yeah. My
I
homeboy
just feel
Travis,
like
no Meg.
just just using fucking Tupac's voice and then using Snoop Dogg's voice when Snoop Dogg is available. You could have asked them or whatever. It's just it's that conversation I told you about that at some point the music industry is going to hit that rock in a hard place of how they're going to police the AI thing because I mean I don't think it got the message across he wanted it to get across. I don't think there'll be a lawsuit for it. I know that there's been talks about it. I don't think there's enough verbiage in the law to even sue someone over it yet because it's still uncharted
I don't think
territory.
they really. I don't think they can, bro, because like Well, I guess it depends what the each estate really owns. Is it the voice itself? Do they own the voice or do they own the name? You
Yeah,
know?
I think it's more of a morality issue right now because I don't think there's any verbiage on it yet. Because, like I said, AI is like such a new territory that I feel like it's just not something that can be policed until there's legislation created to dictate and guide how it's used. Um,
True.
Next track on it was Euphoria. We broke that down. That dropped on April 30th. We went
Mm-hmm.
into so many different bars, right?
Mm-hmm.
4
Best
days
one so
later,
far.
616, absolutely. 616 in LA dropped by Kendrick Lamar, and he put the the glove on there. And Drake fans that have been saying that he pussied out and didn't post the cover art, but obviously there's rules and regulations to posting photos on a public platform like Apple, so they were just abiding by it. And I just think it's just how everybody tries to make their savior. And see, making fun of Drake's penchant for using times and locations in his song titles. 616 in LA arrived just days after Euphoria, delivering on that track's promise to go back to back. It was notably produced by Jack Antonoff, which feels like an acknowledgement of Drake's repeated Taylor Swift references. In the song, he claims to have operatives inside Drake's label, rapping, "Have you ever thought that OVO was working for me? Fake bully, I hate bullies. You must be a terrible person. Everybody inside your team is whispering that you deserve it."
Yes, right.
Right? We get into the whole dialogue of, was information planted? Is there a mole in OVO? Right? And as we get to the next track, Family Matters dropped on May 3rd. This is probably the best track that Drake probably came out, like that Drake has in this entire thing.
I think it's the beat, bro.
Um,
I think it's the beat. The beat slaps.
Maybe.
I think it's the beat, dude. I'm sorry, that beat is hard. I'm not pause. I'm not even like gonna lie, bro. Like I was bopping my head, like, damn, this is a this is a killer beat, right? But when you really kind of isolate the beat itself with the lyrics, I'm just like, it's not as good as what people claim it to be. You
Right.
know?
The so on Family Matters, Drake responded suggesting that Lamar's child or Kendrick's child was actually fathered by his manager, Dave Free. He also honed in on Lamar's relationship with his fiance, Whitney Alford, alleging infidelity and abuse with lyrics like "You the Black Messiah, wifing up a mixed queen," and "Hit Vanilla Cream to help out with your self esteem on some Bobby shit. I know what Whitney need, and when you put your hands on your girl, is it self defense because she's bigger than you?" So obviously, they're both throwing shots at each other. It's rap beef, whether it's true or not. From what I'm reading, they're separated, and obviously, it was confirmed on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers that she's not there no more. It is what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
They live separately, and obviously, Drake came out and also said that on top of hitting her, that he hasn't seen his son in months. So, with all that being said, that's the dirt being thrown on Kendrick from Drake's side. Obviously, Drake, we got the pedophilia, fathering another child and hiding that child, and apparently they're older than Adonis,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
What else? Culture vulturing. Obviously, we got into that one, and there's so many conversations to be had about that.
Yeah.
Um, Meet the Grams dropped literally shortly after, and I think that was probably one of those things where it was a perfect strategic matter for him to just step on that drop, because I think Drake was getting ready to go into the weekend and have a blast, and then now he had to kind of get back into the strategic side of it and see what he was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it continued the theme of going after each other's families right after by telling Drake's son Adonis he's sorry Drake is his father. Speaking of children, the track also alleges that Drake has a secret daughter, a claim Drake responded to via Instagram story, writing, "Not hold on, someone find my hidden daughter, please, and send her to me. These guys are in shambles." Lamar also circled back to his cosmetic procedure digs, rapping, "Get some discipline, don't cut them corners like your daddy did. Fuck that Ozempic did. Don't pay to play with them Brazilians get a gym membership. So as we dig into that part of the song where, Drake responds by saying, "Nah, hold on, someone find my daughter." This is where, you know what, let me hold that thought. And don't let me forget that part. But Not Like Us then drops by Kendrick Lamar and obviously paints the photo of where Drake lives and multiple, I think, sexual predator little icons
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
house, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, not even 24 hours after releasing Meet the Grams, Lamar had more to say with the brutal "Not Like Us." In it, he makes explosive accusations accusing Drake with lyrics like "certified lover boy," "certified pedophiles," "say Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block one," trying to psych a chord, and it's probably A minor. He also
Yep.
circles back to Drake's use of AI to recreate Tupac's voice, tailor-made freestyling, rapping. You think the Bay gonna let you disrespect Pac? I think that Oakland show gonna be your last stop. That one was probably the most entertaining one to like play out in public. And as we saw on social media, this was being played in clubs and bars, and
Mm-hmm.
people were just having a blast. Obviously, here in California, people are gonna enjoy it more because it has that like that West Coast feel to it.
Of
So
course.
it
Absolutely.
was a great song. I
Yeah.
enjoyed the fuck out of it. It was super entertaining. I think that's kind of like if you're gonna be dropping disses, driving the way you want the person to react and accomplishing it. I think Kendrick did that multiple ways, and the shock factor with Meet the Grams, and now this one that's like an entertaining one while taking the shots there, right? Next one, which is the next day, Drake drops The Heart Part 6, which is a play on Kendrick's, the Heart series, or like what people like to say, like Drake's series is like the time and location, right? So Drake responded and said, let's see, he responds and basically about the music video where he does AI deep fakes of OJ Simpson, Kanye West, and Jussie Smollett, Will Smith, Kobe Bryant, and Nipsey Hussle, which, by the way, it's so different than the way he used AI. And I think it's cute that Drake tried to just use AI as an overall thing. But there's a different thing about rapping from a perspective and having like a face put on you as opposed to using someone's likeness or voice like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I think that was like a hit and miss, in my opinion. Um, and Drake alleges that the hidden data rumor was started by his own team in a sort of false flag operation. You got to learn to fact check things and be less impatient. So my part there is my thing with Drake in terms of battle rap in these types of situations. Drake is by far really good on the offensive. Like he's really good at sneak dissing. Like when Kanye said you'll hear it later and then be like, "Fuck, he said that." Like, and now I can't react because it went over everybody's head. I heard a good point today that he's not a good counter rapper. Like when it comes to him having to like when he's on the ropes, you know, like like when he's being hit by an onslaught, his decisions haven't been effective, right?
Yeah. I mean,
One of them. Go
hmm
ahead.
I was gonna say, I mean, he called Kendrick short, and okay, um, he mentioned that he beats his wife. Okay,
Mhm.
I'll give him that. He beats his wife. Okay. Um, Another one was just like, no, Kendrick, don't do it, man. Let's stop dissing each other. I'm just like, bro, like, I can see why he's not the greatest counter when he's not good at countering when it comes to being on the ropes, like how you mentioned, right?
And he
Um,
literally said drop, drop, drop. Like when it was the Taylor made freestyle, one of those ones before Kendrick went on that onslaught, he was
mhm.
constantly saying like, "Hey, like drop, drop," like asking for it. And then when he gives them all the songs, then Drake's like, "Nah, man, I don't know. This is a good exercise, but I'm cool on it." You know what it really feels like?
Mm,
It feels like when you know how like there's like the thirsty dude that's like hollering at some like a woman walking by And like, yo, like, what's up? Like, what you doing later? And she's like, oh, I'm not interested. And then he's like, oh, you ugly. I don't even want you. You ugly as hell. Like that kind of way, like where it's like you didn't get the result you wanted, so now you're just gonna walk away, or you're gonna go out and like onslaught on them for how they reacted to you because they didn't immediately go with the way that you wanted it to go. Like I just feel like Drake was so poorly prepared for this because another part of it that I again, and Drake and Kendrick like fans have been going crazy on Twitter. There's so much to go over on that part. Drake says that he fed them fake information, right?
Correct. Yeah.
He went about it poorly because you could have embarrassed him by how you do it. It could be whoever the person is who's the mole or the fake mole. You record a video of like, hey, you tell him this and you tell him this. Here's the suitcase with all the stuff about his dad, blah, 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 blah. Make it like you knew that was coming and you had a response, not just like, oh, hey, like, we fed you fake information. Like, I just think they're both lying, and it's just like, which lie is really going to stick? And right now, I have a hard time believing it based on him reacting to Kendrick so fast, but then not dropping fast.
Yeah, I feel like okay, so let's say the fake mole, all right? Let's say that he had a fake mole, right? Or he faked everything when it comes to Drake. Um, I feel like if Drake knew he was feeding Kendrick false information, he would just out the guy that was giving him false information. He'd be like, check,
Yeah.
he was something in the lines of check your boy, Alex fucking Valadez, you know. I'd feel like he would call him out if there was really a mole. It feels like it's just Drake trying to pivot
Mm-hmm.
quickly, and this is probably the best option he could do is make everybody believe that Kendrick was getting fed false information,
Right.
deflect, you know, I can see where you got that from now, actually.
Like, I just feel like if that's what he did and this is how he went about it, I feel like he totally could have like really flipped it on Kendrick.
He
Like
could
he
have
could
cooked
have
it, bro.
he could have done it in a way to embarrass him, which he didn't. It was more so
Yeah.
like, haha, you got fake info. It's like then it turns into like a throwaway part of the conversation because it's like sure that one part maybe like okay, let's say that verse on Meet the Grams for the daughter doesn't mean anything. There's still
Okay.
other verses where he talks to the mom, the dad, and the child about other parts of him. So it's like that doesn't necessarily erase that entire song. Like I feel like people are like, "Oh, see, the Meet the Grams was ineffective." It's like, no, he told Adonis that like he wished that your grandpa wore a condom, so this piece of shit wasn't born.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He complete this just body Drake in every aspect when it came to his son. And going back to his 11-year-old daughter, I remember I know I texted this to you guys, but I saw another breakdown of potentially this 11-year-old daughter isn't black and white as him having another kid. They're saying is that this could be like almost like a underlying diss of Millie Bobby Brown. And the reason why is because 11 was her name in Stranger Things. So whether it was another pedophilia, diss, and he just tried to kind of cover it up so that way only Drake can really understand it, maybe. But that's the only angle I've seen it kind of make sense. Um, I don't really see anything else or any other information. And maybe Drake just paid the person off. I don't know, man. But it doesn't go any further than that for me, at least.
Yeah. No, I agree. I feel like when you look at it in that perspective of going for the Millie Bobby Brown thing, which by the way, I heard a really fucked up joke that said, Drake obviously there was rumors of Drake basically, hanging out with her and like giving her boy advice and telling her he
Oh,
misses her. So somebody said that like he rented out a restaurant, and this is a joke or like a mockery of it, but it was like, hey, like she shows up to the restaurant he rented out. He's like, oh, so I heard you're 11, And she's like, no, no, I play a character named 11. And he's like, oh, okay, close enough. That's fine. Come in, come in.
That's wild. Nah, that's nasty.
So super nasty. So digging into it. So one thing I want to make clear, I've seen very loose reasoning as to confirming if Kendrick did or did not put hands on his wife.
Yeah.
I saw that one thing where his manager put a heart on like her post or whatever of like the kid.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know. For the Drake one, there's a lot of stuff you could pile on for the Drake one, and I found this video where two individuals kind of scoured through the internet and tried to get the information on the allegations for Drake. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
play this just to see kind of like what the discourse is online, because boy, are they digging stuff up. Like my thing about what Kendrick is being thrown by Drake and what Drake is being thrown on by Kendrick. Kendrick has survived it because he really just kind of like walks by it. And again, you could argue the whole he should be addressing it. Sure. This rap beef shouldn't be over yet. So I think there's still a time for that.
Yeah.
Drake does that one thing that I see him do, especially with the Pusha T one, where he's almost over explaining and almost puts himself in a worse spot for trying to defend himself because it looks like he's just kind of backpedaling. Like one of the lines was like, I'm too rich or famous like to be doing pedophilia or something like that. And it's like, have you turned your TV on? Do you have a Max account for HBO? Have you did the Quiet on Set
Oh
just
man.
dropped? Like, and you know what I mean? R. Kelly
Yeah.
walked around for 30 years, like, and he was like, if I was a pedophile, I would have been caught already. It's either A, you know you're sloppy, and you know that if they would have wanted to get you, they would have got you, or B, you really just like have so much faith in the justice system because I think we've seen over the years so many unfair trials where like, someone who was a victim didn't get the justice that they deserved. And, Drake is a very powerful person. He could
You
be
know,
on that level of like what's the director's name? Um
Dan Schneider.
okay, that's one, but like
Oh, you're
Weinstein.
talking
Weinstein
about
or Dan Schneider.
Yeah, Weinstein. Yeah, 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 yeah.
So like I feel like what he misunderstands on making that statement is you are powerful, you're a mega pop star, like, you're solidified in the public eye for what you've done in music and entertainment. Saying it that way, I think it's just he misses the part where like people have power and can avoid the repercussions of their actions. You know what I mean? Like it's a tone deaf response, and it just makes Drake's responses look just unprepared for the counter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, one thing I'm gonna call out two things, right? One thing is Drake's the biggest gaslighter I've ever fucking seen or witnessed, right? Two, just because you haven't been charged doesn't mean you're still not a fucking pedophile. You can be a fucking pedophile and not have any charges. Okay? There's
Mm-hmm.
weird videos of Drake doing weird things with underage females in concert, at a party, restaurants, basketball games, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's weird, bro. And the thing about for me, what boggles my mind is that these Drake fanatics are like they don't understand the concept of you can still be a fucking pedophile without doing time, without being convicted. It's just you shouldn't be doing things with anybody who's underage, regardless whether Colorado has an age the what's it called, the consent age of 17, right? I mean, bro, like
Right.
we're both Latinos, dude.
Or
Like,
Canada, right?
yeah, we're both Latinos, and like we know, okay, we understand. Back in the day, there were uncles, dads, cousins, whatever would kind of will groom women at a young age. right? We think that's weird. We understand that's a boundary that shouldn't be crossed now, and we understand that falls under pedophilia. You know, it's weird, right? It's a weird thing.
And something I saw online that I think I think it kind of paints a dark picture to whoever has either been reposting it in agreement or making that their argument. They're
Hmm.
saying that the age of consent in Canada is 16,
Jesus
and I
Christ.
feel like they lose the point of like once you try to argue age of consent
Yeah, it's
for someone who is, of that age, and especially, you're almost losing the battle from the get-go because you're already kind of starting like multiple steps back on what you're trying to argue. Let's watch this video and we'll
okay.
pick apart some things. I've been reading a ton. I should have some good feedback depending on what they talk about. So
He thought this reply track was going to be good, but all it did was dig his hole. He said, speaking of anything with a child, let's get to that now. The Epstein angle was the shit that I expected. Why would you expect that?
What the fuck? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the internet don't play. So how about we start the one that he brought up out of nowhere for no reason?
Molly Bobby Brown.
Let's say y'all got a 14-year-old daughter. She talking about a man in his late 20s this way. What y'all think?
What about your relationship with Drake? Tell me about your friendship. How did this all come about?
I love him. I met him in Australia, and he's honestly so fantastic and a great friend and a great role model. You know, we just text each other the other day, and he was like, "I miss you so much." I was like, "I miss you more." He's coming to Atlanta, so I'm definitely gonna go and see him. I'm so excited. Yeah.
What advice does he give you? Like, what does he say?
About boys, he helps me.
What?
Yeah. He's great. He's wonderful. I love
What's
him.
his advice with boys?
You know, that stays in the text messages.
So you out here texting 14-year-olds saying,
Denny, how would you feel as a father?
Oh no, I'd fuck him up, bro.
It just
I'd
I
fuck
feel
him up.
like there's a big and like this is one of those things about boundaries that I think that younger celebrities, as we've seen with Quiet on Set and multiple other stories that we've heard over the years, there has to be boundaries set between parents and who their child actors interact with, because let's just say it was completely innocent. It's inappropriate. I don't think that should be the conversation he should be having with somebody, you know?
No, absolutely not, bro. I mean, but for me, what's the biggest concern is like, okay, if Drake is giving you guidance and of what to do with the boys at your age, why can't you share something that's like, why can't you share anything at all, right? You know,
Right.
like for me, her saying that I'm gonna keep it in text messages, that's concerning. That raises a red flag. You know, like what is he exactly telling you? You know, because at that age, I mean, they're children, bro. Like, what kind of advice is he giving you? Is it sexual? What the fuck? You know?
Very interesting for sure. It raises a lot more questions than it does answers, and it's interesting. And then there was a video of when he first went on tour where a young lady was brought up on stage by Drake's team. She was 17.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I feel like, and Denny, you and I went to a show together for a podcast, right?
Correct.
There's certain things that your team should be aware of, right? Where it's
Yeah.
like, hey, like, just be self-aware. You don't ever want to put your team in a compromising spot. And she wrote and said like, hey, it was nothing. It was just like, it was a show, whatever. My thing about it is, and it's like, you want to pick a side or not. I feel like if there's inappropriate conversation between that, like, let's say like, Millie said nothing ever happened. It's one of those like, I remember it's like what we said. It's like a boundary thing that I just don't think someone should be crossing.
Correct.
Do you remember Chicago Freestyle dropped around COVID?
No.
Okay, well, I'm gonna read some of the lyrics for you right now, and I remember hearing these lyrics, and it just kind of went over my head until somebody pointed it out to me.
Oh God! All right, let's do this.
Oh, it's bad, and there's a whole conversation about it. All good, Chubbs will look around, find one that seem my type, that my dog, and he know what I like. He done found me plenty in my life. Okay, right?
Okay.
We hear that.
Yeah.
All right, let me pull up this video.
Oh no, I can already imagine. Oh God.
So basically what it's insinuating is Chubbs be the one that like finds the girls for him, and he knows what he likes. So it's almost like, hey Denny, like, pick someone out for me, blah blah blah, and bring her on over, right? There is a conversation to be had because on TikTok, and it sucks that the US is trying to ban TikTok because TikTok is just
Exposing everything.
full of information.
Absolutely.
Let me pull this up. Hold on. So there's like a whole thing about a like Drake conspiracy about how Chubbs and his team will find women for him. So Drake basically has his own Tinder, and you're gonna hear what the video describes it as.
Job was basically just to text girls to invite to Drake's parties.
Oh, sweetie, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Now, everything I'm about to tell you is 100% true, and this information came to me from one of the crew members on Drake's tour. This was the guy who did all the tech stuff, and he told me that Drake has an employee whose job is to go around town looking for super hot girls. He finds the girls and then he interviews them, and out of all the girls he interviews, he picks the one that he thinks that is the best. Then he drives her to Drake's place. Drake has sex with her, and then he drives her home. So basically, Drake has his own private Tinder.
Holy fuck. Wow.
I feel like this is like more of a norm in celebrity life than we probably think,
I think so. It's just I feel like this is giving me Maxwell and Epstein vibes. It's weird. It's weird. I'm not saying that all these women that Drake clap cheeks are underage, but it's interesting knowing that Chubbs has casted these female individuals, and there's a handful of them who could be underage.
Right.
All right. Obviously, maybe you flew back home in Canada. It's consent age is whatever, right? But see, there's a bigger talk to that, because if it was in Canada, then I guess can't really,
All the stuff, a lot of the stuff was happening here in the US though.
Oh God.
That's what I kind of like. I hate when people are like, "Oh, with the age of consent," regardless of whatever age of consent is in Canada. That's gross.
Yeah,
but it happened here. So what are we doing here? What are we trying to have in this conversation that maybe one of us is missing? But let me play this here for you. So remember when I told you that on the Joe Budden podcast, we had a really crazy theory on teenage fever from Joe Budden, right?
Okay.
And Joe Budden and Drake don't get along because Joe Budden sent a million diss tracks at Drake, and Drake never responded. Or he did. He responded like on features, but like very minimal, like on that French song where he said, pump it up. You'll never be as famous as me. Yeah, well, whatever. Drake responded to Joe a few months ago saying, like, don't listen to Joe. Like, he's a failure. Like, these are the people who are dissecting us, and they don't even know what, like, kind of like a real hater shit. Because, like, for him to write all that said a lot to me about how under his skin Joe is, right?
Yeah, of course.
This was one of, and again, I had a couple tweets that I sent out about Maul today, and we'll get into that in a second. But this is Joe's theory about the true meaning behind teenage.
No,
All right, don't worry about it. Let me keep going. You say the word. I'm on the way. What word? It's a go.
Come through.
Do it.
My parents asleep.
Wait. You say the word. This shit feel like teenage fever.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of it. She ain't neither.
There you go.
I'm trying to make it sound like Kells.
Yeah.
I mean,
Why second guess? I should have stayed.
But that's what I'm saying.
Joe,
Because you know what's on my mind,
Joe,
little
I think-
girl.
I think-
No, don't
I
do
think
that.
what Aubrey was trying to come across is that this particular woman gives him butterflies the way he felt when he was a teenager during his teenage love days.
Exactly, Joe.
oh, he wasn't talking about like when he was sick.
No, he's not talking about a fever he had when he was a teenager.
Okay.
Y'all gonna look back one day and say,
How did it get past us?
yeah, hey, y'all gonna look back and be like, damn it, we were complicit.
Woo! And that's why that was the greatest podcast of fucking the 2000s, and it was ruined because Joe, Rory, and Maul can communicate. God damn it! And now, I gotta hear this shit on my fucking timeline, and I fucking listen to the episode because I fucking could. Let me just fucking address Maul real quick. This is Maul's reaction to him saying that Drake won the beef.
After what he did on the Hard Part 6, he rapped about this nigga's taking his fake information. I told y'all this on Family Matters when I said, you digging for dirt, you should be digging for proof. I got pictures of the fucking little girl, all in the fucking video plastered on the wall. I'm fucking playing with this dumb nigga, and he's going for it. I'm the most lit nigga in the game. Y'all mad, and there's no skeletons in my closet. I'm not no fucking pedophile. Stop it. That's the only thing y'all niggas know that could fucking end my run is me being, and it doesn't exist. Stop the bullshit. But you, Mr. Lamar, you hit your girl because she's bigger than you. You put your hands on your girls. You've been engaged for years. You're not married yet. You living in New York. She's not. Let's talk real shit. All this 11-year-old daughter shit y'all talking about. And because he released it right after the Family Matters. It's a better record. Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
We didn't say it was a better record. We said Family Matters is probably the best song in this whole
It
shit.
ain't no probably, nigga. It's the best record that's releasing this entire beef.
I want to congratulate Maul for finally achieving his goal of having his Joe Budden moment on a podcast, because that was the most Joe shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, man, it's you know, here it is again. It's just they're addressing the fact that whether surrounding Millie Bobby Brown and his actions, right, of him being a pedophile, dude. Just go look up that video when he was on stage with that 17-year-old giving her a kiss, bro. It's the weirdest shit ever. It's very sexual, regardless of whether his concert was at a certain age or not. But dude, it's a 17-year-old girl, and you're doing these moves on her. And then when you go to Kylie's birthday, sweet 16, you're giving her this fucking weird kiss on the cheek, bro. You know, I don't know if it's just me, but like, if you're gonna just give him a sweet kiss on the cheek, it's a peck, not a fucking full-out makeup session with their fucking left cheek. It's just weird, bro. Like Ma, address that. What are you gonna say about that? Huh? And here's the thing too.
He's just gonna dance around it, man. He's just gonna dance around it, like he dances around everything that he thinks is what is the truth.
And what he's talking about proof, then all right, to get proof. Drake, get proof from Drake's ex-fiance that he did put hands on her. Then get that proof, right? Come on, I'll get proof of a DNA sample that Kendrick Lamar's son isn't his. Get the proof. If you want to talk about proof, it should be applied to both parties, not just to one.
Yeah,
Drake didn't prove that he had a fucking fake mole that he planted that to make Kendrick believe all these bullshit. He's just talking out of his ass. Same way Kendrick could be talking out of his ass.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
At this point, it's just whoever you want to believe and whoever's dick is in your ass the furthest. I guess that's how you're gonna really make an opinion, because that's all I'm getting from a lot of these artists and these streamers. It's just there's no logical thinking, right? There's no like, dude, this is kind of weird regardless of the fact, right? Dude, like, no, Kendrick's a fucking he's a woman beater for sure. Like, what the fuck? You know? There's no logical thinking, bro. Everybody just stuck to what these tracks are saying. That's it. Nothing of a deeper understanding of these accusations.
So to recap, Drake was accused of being a culture vulture, for pedophilia, not being a father, gambling addict, horrible treatment of women. Kendrick was, your son isn't your son, it's your manager's son. You beat your wife.
You're short.
You're short. We fed you fake information. All that in mind with our generation's best rap beef, because I do think the Pusha T1 and Drake could have been great if it continued, but it didn't, because Drake was scared on the he had a verse or a song that would ruin families, and I just no he didn't. He didn't, because he would have dropped it, or he would have dropped a different version. And everybody's saying, "Oh, people are in the background telling me not to do it." Drake, you already took one out now with Bush, and this one with Drake. With Kendrick, if it's true what you said at the end, where you said like, "I'm done with this, like I'm good," like it's just tough when you take 2 L's. When you take 1 L, hey, life happens, shit's gonna happen. But on the mulligan, but I mean, in my opinion, I think Kendrick clearly won this so far. He's winning right now. Let's not say it's over yet.
Yeah,
and Kendrick so far has been by far strategically, musically, bars wise, has done everything he's needed to be in the lead of this. I think Drake with Family Matters was a good response. That was like a good. It was a good song. I'll listen to that forever. That shit's fucking enjoyable.
Yeah.
The Heart Part 6, to me, it was just too much of explanation, and like it just felt like he was like his wording of how to defend himself on the pedophile comments made it look worse, and we talked about it earlier. So as it stands now, I got Kendrick winning, no question.
I do too.
We'll keep monitoring it, and everybody pray for Maul, because I'm sure he's just not doing well right now, because Drake is losing to the public, and he's yelling like his mentor Joe Budden.
Yeah, man. But one thing before we we finish this up real quick. Here's my thing, right? If we go back to that video of Alex showing of Joe Budden breaking down potential teen fever from Drake. Now let's reflect back to now about these accusations. If accusations have been happening in the past, like how I mentioned about Diddy, if accusations keep building, bro, there's a high possibility that you fit that fucking shoe. You fit that mold. How long ago was that pod, Alex?
Oh my god, that was like a year. No, 2 years ago, at least.
2 years.
It's been a while since they potted together.
2 years ago. Okay, now we have that one girl that went up the stage. It was 17 years old. Weird. Kylie Jenner's kiss. Weird. Millie Bobby Brown. Weird. If you guys want, create a timeline, bro. If it's more than a year time of being accused of a goddamn predator / a pedophile, you potentially can fit that mold. I'll keep it at that. It's plain and simple. You can't have multiple accusations of the same thing. I'm sorry, you really can't. It's just at that point you're kind of guilty.
It just looked kind of crazy. That's just all we're getting at. And again, we don't know if Drake is a pedophile. We don't know if Kendrick beat his his ex girlfriend. I don't think they're together, but they're not together. Like I said he said at the end of Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, which by the way, I feel like the Drake fans did not listen to Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers because one more thing to point out. He said that Kendrick was molested, and if you go back and listen to the song where that happened,
Mhm.
his mom had been molested, and she, portraying her trauma on him, didn't believe him when he denied that he wasn't molested because of her past trauma. So he kind of missed the point on it. Drake Reddit is creating a whole thing of like how Drake's doing some reverse psychology on that, and like, while I appreciate like trying to look into something deeper that way,
It
he
doesn't make sense.
misinterpreted the lyric. He misinterpreted the lyric. That's all it
Yeah.
was. Because I could see how he misunderstood that. But I feel like if you're in a rap battle and you make that kind of mistake, it's tough because you can't blame it on I got fake information from a leak. You misread a bar that if you heard that album and you actually listen, like, Jay-Z said, do you fucking listen to music or do you just skim through it?
Mhm.
You'll miss the point of what he was trying to get across. And, it is what it is. But it looked nasty on that part because, like I said, it's just, come on. Like, I got that on the first listen. And I enjoyed that album. I was on this podcast and I talked about it. Like, I've been playing Die Hard, like, for a hot minute because it's just a very that project I think relates to the I've grown past who I was to survive and this is who I am post healing. And I feel like a lot of people, like, it's like the whole conversation of like Drake dropping the For All the Dogs, and it's more of a young person's album or like a new gen album, where like Yeet, who is like I didn't know who the fuck Yeet was. Young fans are gonna love it because they're seeing someone that they listen to with Drake. That's what he was going for. He was going a younger audience. Kendrick one, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers was a album of growth and understanding that you're not perfect, and that's okay because no one's perfect. Like it's hits so many different points. But again, the beef shit's crazy, and everyone has their own opinion. Drake's fans have been arguing till they're blue in the face about it. There's a rumor that Universal Music Group is pushing Kendrick and Drake to end this because Drake being called the pedophile is probably not good for his reputation, and them backing forthing on a rap beef is stepping on a lot of people's drops. Where
What the fuck?
like four bats, the guy who just got signed to OVO, he literally added Kendrick like, yo man, come on man, can you just let my shit like breathe? And it's true, and that is fucking up the money for other artists, and it is what it is. That's kind of the nature of it. But I feel like if the entity in the background, the distribution, is obviously going to try to put an end to it because they're like, all right, now our money's getting fucked up. It was cute that y'all were beefing, we love that. I don't want my paycheck to be a little bit smaller this time. You know what I mean? It's the whole money versus integrity thing.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, one thing for sure I understand. Who is Kendrick signed to again?
I'd have to
Interscope?
look that up. Kendrick. Well, I mean, that's what Drake said.
That's what. That's what.
Yeah. He signed to Interscope.
Okay, so that makes sense.
And then, but it's Universal Music Group, which is Drake's side. That's supposedly.
Saying.
Let me read to you. Let me. Well, everybody who's independent still has a distribution deal for the most part. You're still independent, but you have someone that's pushing your shit.
That's not so. Not everybody's like Russ, huh?
I feel like Russ is the only one that does it that way, like completely.
By himself.
Like Drake can claim that he does, but it's not the same thing.
That makes sense. I thought Drake was distributing his own music on his own.
No,
right?
No. He has I think it was like 200 to 250 million, if I'm just going off the top of my head, where that's what they're paying him to distribute for him because he's going to pay for that tenfold anyways. That's what that song Major Distribution kind of talked about in Her Loss.
Interesting.
Major Distribution, that one. But yeah, man. So that was as much as we can condense the entire rap battle into what's been 52 minutes, barring some edits. Anything else you want to say on there? I mean, we were both clear on who we thought was winning, and that we don't think it's necessarily over. I don't think it's over. I think Drake's going to drop another one or two, and I think it's going to be both that way. But that remains to be seen.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, the only thing I really want people to understand is that, several accusations is wild. That's all. But yeah, I think Kendrick's clearing so far. I do like Drake's one response for what was the song again? I forgot the name of the song.
What response? So I get
the one we both liked. We both enjoyed
Family Matters.
Family Matters. That one was probably by far the best one that Drake came out with. Kendrick has maybe 2 or 3 on top of that. So it's just, unfortunately, unfortunately, my thing too with Drake is that the beats might overtake the actual response, and I want people to fully understand that when it comes to a diss track, listen to what the fuck the guy is saying, not just bounce your head because the beat's fire. That's it. That's it.
Exactly. All right, man. Make sure you guys follow us. This is episode 167. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok. Rate us, comment, do all the good shit. Check out the YouTube. Or if you're on Spotify, check out the video on the Spotify app. I think that's a really cool
that's pretty cool
feature that Spotify has that Apple Podcast does not.
Step it up, Apple. Step it up.
Exactly. I had to get my guy Denny on my. I had to get my guy Denny on the family plan because I had extra space. So I was like, let me. Yeah. This is my thing. By the way, and I will point this out about Denny that I really appreciate about him as a person. So obviously I have a family plan. I put my mom, my dad, my brother, Jessica on there. I sent it to Val, but she's like an Apple girl, so she's like, I don't know if I want to be on Spotify. It's like, you're not paying for it, so why are you? Whatever. I was like, I'm trying to send you playlists, but it's on Spotify. I have extra spots, so I was like, yo, Denny, would you like to be on Spotify? And his first thing was, I want to take a spot from your family. That thought process is so appreciated because, like, everybody's trying to get hooked up, but just that extra thought, I was like, that's why Denny's one of my day ones, because for sure he's like fucking like he's thinking about shit that other people would never think about, right?
But I do appreciate it, bro. Honestly, I do appreciate. I'll buy you a shot of Hennessy when we hang out again.
Oh god, a shot of Hennessy at the Angel City game would be fucking insane.
Let's do it. I can't wait.
RoyalTea. I can't drive them. RoyalTea Radio track of the week for me. I finally tapped into the Partynextdoor track, and of course, the song that speaks to me the most is the most toxic, diabolical song on there. My track is Partynextdoor, Her Old Friends.
And my niggas, you rap. Fuck all my bitches old friends. Y'all let that girl fuck anybody. She out here catching everybody. Don't not to lean on anybody. Don't not be seen with everybody. It's gonna be so hard to clean back that body when I want it. Yeah, I want to take her out the game. Who's to fucking blame? What's my fucking name? Yeah, that was my rules. Only let her do wrong on my name. I hate when a cute girl see a bad bitch and try to get the bad bitch to do every shit. Yeah, and on my name. Hate when a bad bitch get every done. Every time she throw a little tantrum, she wanna fuck another nigga in vain. Oh, on my name. I can speak about it real out loud. Cause I don't fuck these bitches when these other rappers niggas change. I don't tell you. I'm the HNIC. I'm not from Spelman. I got to tell you what that means. And I can say it right here, all out like the songs of war. And none of these niggas come show me love. But bitch Beaches wet like Fiji when big piece that be in the club.
Her old friends, Party Next Door. God bless the toxicity and R&B and music in general, because you know that's my shit. So
Yeah,
shout out to
yes, it
Party.
is.
So glad to see he's back outside. Check out that project. There's a lot to indulge in there.
Yeah, I need to dive into that. Sometimes it's hard for me to listen to Party. I don't know why. It's just maybe it's the combination of sometimes not understanding him.
I was gonna say I
and-
feel like that's probably why, because I know you're not a big fan of Young Thug, because he does his voice like this, and sometimes
Yeah.
you can't really know what he's saying.
Yeah, I think that's sometimes why I just can't grasp his music. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna
I get
check it out. But for my royalty rated track of the week, I'm gonna go with this guy named ASTN. This is Soul, Body, and Mind.
Ready to learn how it feels with someone so wild, with someone so real. Baby, just say the word, and I'll take my time. Deep in your soul, body and mind, I'm ready to. I'm not afraid to admit it. Used to be afraid to be committed. Cause when I turn the lights on, it's never with the right one. I'm not afraid to admit it. Swore I would never change till I did it. All it took was one slow dance to stop me overthinking. I'm ready to learn how it feels with someone so wild, with someone so real. Baby, just say the word, and I'll take my time. Deep in your soul, body and mind. So come put your body on mine.
And that was the wholesome song of Aston, Soul, Body, and Mind. Completely different from this nasty man to the left side of me of the screen. But yeah, man, is it my left or right? It should be my right? Whatever.
It's the left of the screen. Just say that.
Yeah, left of the screen. There you go. But yeah, man. I'm a fan of this guy. I listened to him sometime this year or last year, and just been keeping up with his music. I also want to mention before we get to our final thoughts, a happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out
Good
there.
fucking call.
yeah,
Good fucking
man.
call, man.
I know us Latinos, we celebrate it on the 10th. Which when that episode will drop. So happy Mother's Day to you all, and on Saturday, happy Mother's Day to Sunday, happy Mother's Day to the rest of you mothers.
All right, I'm not even gonna touch that because that affects some people. I know. Yeah, man. Shout out to all the mothers that are involved, all the mothers that in any capacity that you are a mother. God bless you for what you do. It's not an easy job. It's not an easy role, but it's, I'm sure, a very enriching thing. What are you doing for your mom and for Diane and for your suegra?
Well, I was planning something out, and then I found out that Diane works on Mother's Day, the U.S., the time that we celebrate on Sunday. So I got to pivot. I was gonna do something where I sent all three of them somewhere, but now I gotta figure some other things out. But I'll figure it out, man. Okay. Bare minimum, some flowers. Bare minimum.
Of course.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe cook for them, but that's a lot of food. I'm gonna be in there for hours.
Yeah, you will.
Because if I cook, I gotta cook for the whole fam too.
Yeah, absolutely. Shit. I know. Shit, I got a couple things planned. I got the in-laws coming over Saturday. We're gonna treat them to something here. Sunday. Oh shit, Saturday. Saturday night might be the first time Val goes to a family event.
Oh,
I think.
wow.
I think, yeah.
Wow. Oh, well,
Yeah.
if you guys want, More Park's having the Apricon Festival here, right where we live. Beer, wine, alcohol, and some other events. So if you
What
guys
time
want
does it
to
end?
join us, I mean, it's not. I think it's an early thing. It starts like at 11. Let me find out. Let me find
See,
out.
we're doing brunch with her parents.
It is 11 a.m. to 5 p.m.
See, and then right after we're done there, we're going to my cousin's first communion.
Fair enough. Oh, you guys do that,
Yeah.
huh? Let's do that. There you go.
I'm
Burn
not.
that motherfucker. Just you're gonna.
No,
fucking
I can't burn what I don't believe in.
yeah. Well, all right.
I believe in God. I just don't subscribe to specific religion.
Subscribe is crazy.
Cause whatever. I'm not gonna get
That's crazy.
I'm not gonna get myself in
It's
trouble.
a membership. Technically, it is. It's a call. Anyway,
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Is it is kind of a membership, but whatever. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I guess one thing for sure, since it's Mother's Day, just show a little bit more appreciation to them. I don't want. Also, don't let this be the one day where you show them love. Love them every single day because they do so much for us. Without them, we wouldn't be here. So just tell them you love them now. Tell them you love them tomorrow, and tell them you love them for the rest of your time here on Earth. I guess that's all I really have to say because I didn't know where to take that from there. Dude, why does my eyes look like I'm high, man? Look at me, bro. I look like a fucking super nerd when the eyes are just so low, bro. Like I'm so blind. You know what those nerds with those big ass glasses that you can't even fucking see through? I look like that, bro.
I bet you Chris McGowan probably said something really racist right now.
He would. He really would.
When he gets to the end of this episode, I know he's gonna text a group chat and be like, "God damn it, Alex! What the fuck's your problem? Why are you saying that shit?" Mine is you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take, and I'm saying that because I just had a rough day gambling, and I'm gonna be back at it tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good thing is I'm not like Alex today. I have my money.
Yeah.
That's right. You're agreeing tomorrow, bro. If it makes you feel better, I'm still a little negative. I'm in moose piss, but I haven't been betting. And every bet I've thought about doing has cashed, and I hate
that shit.
Life. I hate my life.
Shit, bro.
Fucking shit.
Fucking
man.
hate that shit, man.
Yeah.
All right, man. But we are out of here. This is episode 167. This is RoyalTea. We are done. Peace.